Hey there, YouTube. Making another video here just to show how the Assistive Touch feature looks and works on the iPad. So specifically, the iPad I'm using is an iPad Pro from 2015, and no iPad as of yet has 3D Touch. So that's one thing to know when we're looking at these options here. So if you go into your settings app and you go into General and then under Accessibility here, you'll see all those same accessibility options that are available on the iPhone and basically just on a bigger scale. So if we go down to the interaction portion here, we'll see we have switch control, assistive touch, touch accommodations, and additional options here. So we'll go ahead and turn assistive touch on. And as you'll see, it's a little different than it is on the iPhone 10. It's a square, and other than that, it should be pretty similar. So again, we have our opacity of the actual button here, so it can be more viewable, or it can be more invisible, and just keep it at 40%, which is what it came with here. And again, you can move this anywhere on the screen that you'd like, so it can be moved anywhere you want on the screen here, which is great. Okay, so under the custom actions here, you have your single tap, which opens the menu, and again, you can go through this list here and change just about anything that goes on here. One thing that is new here that is not on the iPhone is the dock. So you have an option to use the dock here, which is pretty interesting. And double tap, so double tapping you can do, say you want to have the multitasking app switcher come up here, so you can do that. So we'll hit that and then double tap. You got your app switcher. So that's pretty nice. And you can change that to whatever you wish. You can also have it pinch, which is interesting. Analytics, I'm not sure what that is. Let's see. Gathering analytics, okay. Not sure what that is. Let's see how the dock looks when we do that. That's pretty nice. So you can bring up your dock if you don't feel like flicking it, but I feel like that's a little bit more work than just flicking. You can also restart, and you can add it. You can have it speak what's on the screen, which is pretty nice. So I'll leave that as the app switcher, since that's that pretty much reminds me of what it normally does. And then on here you have a long press. Okay, successfully completed gathering analytics. Okay, maybe the analytics gathering is for if you were to submit anything to Apple, which would make sense. So if you're having an issue with your iPad, specifically under that Assistive Touch feature, then that might be something that you would send to Apple for them to review. Now on here you again have the long press duration, which it defaults to 0.75 seconds. So you can change that to whatever you feel is necessary. And again, you have all these different options here. So as I did in the previous video, my example I used was Control Center. So let's see, is it not going to work? Well, I am long pressing it, so that's not doing anything. Let's try the volume up. Okay. So let's see, Control Center again. What I found interesting with this is it's possible that that is broken because of the way they have the Control Center come up. So to bring up the Control Center in iOS 12 on an iPad, you have to pull down the notification shade, and then you have that little option at the top there. So that could be the reason that it won't just pop it up. So you should have an option to bring your notification shade down if I long press. Let's see. Yep, there you go. So that might be a broken thing, so that's interesting. So if you try to use the Control Center option as a long press, probably, or as a shortcut period, it probably will not work. Alright, so we'll take a look here at the options here. So you've got your notifications that you can hit here to bring that up. You've also got Control Center, which again is broken because of the way it comes down. So that's not good, not good. You also have your home button, so you can press home. You can double tap to bring up your multitasking, and then you can bring back up. And let's see here. So what else do we have here? So we have your custom options, which again, you can go in and make a gesture for that. So you can go in here and make a gesture. So you can say something like that, and then choose what you want to use that for. And your device options are available here as well. So you have your volume up, volume down, which shows a little HUD in the middle of the actual little assistive touch thing. You can lock your screen, rotate your screen, lock the rotation of the screen, and then under your more options, you have some different options here. So you can actually bring up your dock, which is nice, your multitasking, shake, app switcher. Now the multitasking, let's see what this does. Okay, so this is pretty helpful. So as you know, they have the option to have two apps on the screen at once. And so this actually will let you pin a new app on the left, pin a new app on the right, or open an app with slide over. And slide over, I think, is only available on some of the newer ones because it can handle the multitasking. When you split screen, you're only using one at a time, so it won't let you use anything that's taxing on the processor here. So that's pretty nice. You also have your screenshot option there. So if you don't feel like taking a screenshot, and in this case because it's an iPad, you would press the home button and the lock button at the same time, so that actually saves a little bit of time there. And then you have your gestures option there, as well as an option to restart the device. So, pretty nice. Now again, like I was saying, in here you have the same options, similar options than on the iPhone. So you have voiceover, your speech, your display accommodation, so you can invert the colors on here as well. And then you have color filters, reducing white point and the auto brightness. You also have the zoom option there, as well as the magnifier. You can put larger text, bold text, have button shapes, reduce your transparency. So in this case, if I show you the control center or the notification shade here, and then we turn on the reduced transparency, you'll note that it just shows the background and there's no transparency to the notifications or to the control center at all. And then you also can have on-off labels, which will basically put an O and an I on any toggles so you can know whether they're on or off. And you have other options here. So you have your home button too, so this is on any device with a home button. Rest finger to open is for your Touch ID, and you can have Siri come on when you press and hold the home button, or you can turn that off, which is nice. Your click speed you can have as default. You can have it go slow or slowest, so that if you have trouble clicking the home button, it's a little bit easier to get that double click motion in there. Now, if you don't feel like doing the double clicking, the Assistive Touch feature is pretty helpful because you're just tapping the screen instead of pushing a physical button. So if it's hard to push a button, it'll be easier to do the Assistive Touch. Anyways, guys, I appreciate